Hello everyone, it is TooAwesome here with another video. Now, I put up a poll a little while ago on my Instagram at TooAwesome_reviews asking which video you would like to see first, and Megalo Box won. So without further ado, this is the Megalo Box review. Now, this is one of those shows that I watched when it first aired. This was actually one of the first anime I watched in general, and I first came across it through some Crunchyroll ads. I believe I was watching Mob Psycho 100 and came across a banner at the top of my screen advertising this new boxing anime. And while at first I sort of brushed it off, the more it was shown to me, the more my interest was piqued. And it was introduced to me at such a great time. So way back when you were actually allowed to fly on planes, I found myself on one. And you know how they sometimes have those built-in TVs in the back with movies? Well, yeah, mine had one, so I lucked out. So basically, I was scrolling through the movies and saw Creed 2, which came out a few months prior. And I thought to myself, since I saw the first one, why not give it a shot? So I did, and well, I got into that mood. You know what I'm talking about if you've seen any of those movies like Rocky or Creed. You get into this boxing mood, and I really couldn't get enough of the sport. So this anime kind of crept in at the right time for me. So that brings me over to Megalo Box, a gritty and exciting sports anime, first aired on April 6th of 2018. It's my favorite and only sports anime I have watched. I've had some recommendations that I'll try to watch eventually, but for now, let's stick to the title of my favorite sports anime because it just sounds good. Now, Megalo Box actually refers to the new sport of boxing, where the fighter is now coupled with this mechanical gear to enhance their abilities. Enter Joe, our main character and underdog. We find him fighting in underground matches but is forced to fix fights. However, a tournament arises to find the champion of Megalo Boxing. Joe sees a chance to get out of where he is and an outlet for his passion. He gets in the ring to fight battle after battle, but he knows he won't be recognized without a catch. So he sheds his gear and fights under the name Gearless Joe. Now, this is where the uphill battle begins as he tries to fight his way up to becoming the champion of Megalo Boxing as the perfect underdog, which he is in every aspect of the word. To the gear, to his life, to even where he lives, all the odds are stacked against him. And it's really great to see a real underdog story after being fed this line so many times where more often than not it turns out to be false. But here, that's not the case. Joe has to work hard and grind to beat his opponents. No power-ups, no inner demons, no friendship power boosts. Just real, unbridled work. Now, one of the first things you'll probably notice about this show is its animation, which resembles something you'd probably find in the 90s, which is really cool in my opinion. It gives off this retro sort of feel, and it was just so unique that I've only really seen it in places like Cowboy Bebop. It had this gritty yet futuristic style, and I was all for it. Almost like a synthwave cyberpunk type beat. And the animation was done like this on purpose to sort of emulate this retro style. I think it nails it in my opinion, and with the story and art style, it just gives off such a unique feel. The animation is awesome. Now, the resemblance to Cowboy Bebop doesn't stop there. The main characters are pretty similar as well, if it be in their design or attitudes. Now, it may come as no surprise, but Spike Spiegel is one of, if not my favorite character of all time. So any character with even the slightest resemblance to him is given quite a leg up on the competition. So needless to say, I really like Joe, if it be his grit, attitude, or just his hard work and dedication. I'm sure you can take some life lessons from him, and his story will get you pumped. Seriously, his story is pretty cool. Now, this is a boxing anime, so there are bound to be fights, and I will admit that the fights can leave some to be desired, but they still are pretty good for the most part, and some of my favorite moments with the show had to do with the fights and how genuinely hyped I could be, like jumping up and down, fist bumping hyped. It's so great to try to root for an underdog like this, and the show really plays into that aspect. Sadly, like I said before, the fights in my opinion could be better. They utilize a lot of cuts, and while there are moments that are really good, it's not like some flawless hand-to-hand action that some other shows bring to the table. Now, I will admit that the show can be a little slow at times. It can take a while for you to get into it, and it may not immediately click, as in my case, because I actually originally dropped the show and put it on hold only to complete it a few months later, which was really weird to me after I picked it back up because I thought it was really great. But at the time of first watching, I was relatively new to anime. I had a bunch of big name anime recommendations, so I kind of went out of my way to watch this one. Since it didn't hook me like some of the other shows I was watching, I dropped it. Now, please don't let this deter you from watching. If anything I said about it previously intrigued you, give it a shot. But I would just like to let you know what happened with me, since I want to be true, I want to be honest, and I want to give you my honest opinion and experience. But seriously, when I picked it back up, I was baffled as to why I stopped watching, because once I got back into it, it was great. It gives you such a unique feeling that I haven't really seen elsewhere. The closest I can think of is Cowboy Bebop, but even still, in many aspects, they couldn't be more different. But overall, this was a really enjoyable show that brought such a different feel than anything else I've seen. It sported a great main character partaking in the true underdog story. If you want someone fighting against all odds, this is your show. So Megalo Box gets a 7.5 out of 10. It would be higher, but since I did drop it originally, this is as high as the score goes. If you're not aware, Megalo Box did seem to get a season 2, which is airing at the time of writing this script, and this video was in partial preparation for that, since I would like to make a video on the second season and to complete the whole franchise. I thought it would be good to go over the origins as well. So I left it up to all of you to decide, and I delivered. So hopefully, once I watch the second season and it wraps itself up, I'll make a video on that too, so stick around for that if you're interested. But hopefully, you enjoyed the video. If you have any comments of your own, make sure to leave them down below. Trust me, I read them. Also, look at this graph. Okay. But as always, stay awesome, too awesome. Thanks for watching.